Agent Power Huddle is a daily jumpstart, giving you all the tools you need to create an amazing real estate career. Led by top experts in the field, you'll learn how to sell more houses in less time while creating the life you want. Welcome to the Agent Power Huddle.
Good morning, everyone. Happy sunny Friday. It is sunny in Seattle. Yeah, I love it. All of a sudden, people get really nice here. In general, Seattle's not a very nice place, if I'm being super honest. And people get really nice when the sun's out. So I love it. Okay, anyhow, so you guys, today I'm going to talk about something because this is actually somebody had texted me. So if you ever have something you want to talk about or want me to do something on, I love content ideas. Like, it makes my brain happy because I don't have to think about it. I'm like, oh, what should I talk about, right? So I actually got a text from someone and it said, hey, lady, can you do a Friday special on what to do when you've lost your mojo and all hope has gone out the window? Can anybody relate to this? I mean, I'm going to be 100% honest. I can. 100%. And then it goes on to say, I've been super burnt out, plus personal life things, and now I want to get back to business, but I don't even know where to start. So that is what we're talking about today, is what to do when you've lost your mojo. Because the reality is, I'm going to be real honest. I'm going to have a very vulnerable moment with all of you right now and tell you that the last month I have been burnt out. Burnt out. And when I'm burnt out, it's hard because there's a lot of people who count on me to keep them motivated. And it's really hard to help other people stay motivated when I'm not feeling it. You know what I mean? So it's like, you got to protect yourself first, because there's always going to be people who are counting on you to help them, whether it be your clients, your kids, your family, the people all around you. There's going to be people who need you. So, and that's a good thing. That's what we want. We want people to value us, right? Like that's a purpose, I would say, for the general purpose that probably all of us are somewhat striving toward, which is why we're in the business of what we do. So you got to take care of yourself first. If you don't take care of yourself, what's going to happen is it's going to be where I'm like, I don't want to answer my phone. I don't want to respond to text messages. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to do anything. And that doesn't help. That does not serve anybody. It doesn't serve anybody. It especially doesn't serve my husband, because he's the one who gets to deal with me 24/7. So it doesn't serve anybody when you've completely lost your mojo and you're completely burnt out, because then what happens, besides not serving other people, is here's how it affects your business and your income. Is burnout is going to essentially put you at a stop. Okay, how many of you have been, if you're not burnt out now, how many of you have been burnt out or have been burnt out at something in the past, right? And it's just like, I just can't do it anymore. I don't want to do any of it. Even the simple things, I don't want to do any of it. So the reality is that's the nature of our business. And a lot of us, most real estate agents experience this burnout come this time of year, because what happens is all of a sudden your business is exploding, or it's not. One or the other. It's not usually like, oh, business is just okay. Like, I don't really ever talk to anybody who's like, business is just okay. It's either it's dead or it's exploding. That's literally what I'm hearing right now. Okay. So the problem is, like, when you have business exploding, right? You stop doing the things that help your business start to explode. And when business is dead, you stop doing the things that you need to do to help you make money. So, and most of that's because we're burnt out on some feeling, or we're experiencing some sort of exhaustion. So that's what I want to do, is I want to talk to you today about my tips to help overcome this like phase that you may or may not be in, because I want you all to have great success. And the best way to do that is to get over it. Get over it and move forward. Okay, so let's do that, and let's do that in a healthy, happy way that's going to make us all feel better. Okay, so if you are in this space, I did this exercise with one of my people that coach with me one-on-one. We did this in her coaching the other day, and I think it probably felt a little weird for her, because I was like, I'm going to have you do something that probably sounds abnormal for me, and she was like, yeah, and I was like, but I need you to do it. I need you to do it. So I need you all to do what I'm telling you to do, because I'm going to tell you what happened for her when we did this exercise for her. And I say this from experience because I've done it for myself, is once you do what I'm going to tell you to do, it's going to feel weird at first. It will. It's going to feel a little uncomfortable. Okay. But guess what happens on the other side of discomfort? Growth. Right? So you have to make yourself uncomfortable, and then we're going to grow from it. Okay. So right now, every one of us probably has negative thoughts in our head. I don't care who you are. I have negative thoughts in my head. Every single one of us probably have negative thoughts in your head. Okay. You don't have to tell me what they are, but what I want you to do is I want you to pull out a piece of paper. I know Molly's driving, so Molly, just do this in your head. Do this when you get to a place where you can actually sit down and write, because I promise you it'll help you. I want you to pull out a piece of paper. Probably not surprising. This is my thing for everything. Write. I love to write. And I want you to write down, and we're going to spend a couple of minutes, and I want you to write down every single negative thought that's in your head right now. Every single negative thought, every single limiting belief, every single thing that you're thinking right now that is not serving you. Okay. I feel like I'm a bad leader. I feel like I'm not producing enough. I feel like my systems are out of control. I feel overwhelmed. I feel like I can never get caught up. My to-do list keeps growing. I don't have any money coming in. My clients hate me. I did a really bad job negotiating that deal. Okay. All of those thoughts, I want you to write them all down. And when you're done, just put a 1 in the chat for me. All right. I can see a lot of people at work. I love it. Okay. So we're going to move on to the next part of this exercise. Okay. There's a reason. I always say it's scientific. I'm sure there is science for it. I've never found it, but I always say it's a scientific reason. Okay. So it's just my thing to say. But there's a scientific reason that I had you write it all down. Because the thing is, if it's in your head, it's blocking you. Once you get it out of your head, all of a sudden, it's physical. Right? It's a physical thing, and you can see it, and you can acknowledge it, and you can recognize it, and you're aware of that thought pattern. So these thought patterns that you just wrote down, they do not serve us. They can't. There could be an argument that they could. Okay, there could be an argument like, oh yeah, they do serve me because they don't make me feel good, so I grow from them. They fuel me. Okay, there's an argument. Okay, whatever. There's an argument for everything. My point is, they don't serve you, especially for some people who are still writing, because there's a lot. So how many of you feel a little bit better now that you got them out of your head? Just a tiny bit. I don't care if you're doing like an 8, like a 0.0125%. Okay. Feel a little bit better. Okay. Now Todd's like, yeah, I feel better. Okay. Now I want everyone to stand up. If you're in a plot where you can stand up, and I want you to grab your piece of paper, step back from the camera, hold your paper up. I want us all to see it. Okay. Now, you all unmute so you can do this and you can scream and no one's going to know what you're actually saying. But Anna's prepared. She knows what I'm going to say. You're going to take that paper. If you wrote it on a thing, on a tablet, you're kind of screwed because you're going to have to smash your tablet. I'm kidding. Don't actually do that. It's not going to feel as satisfying, I promise you. But what I want you to do is I want you to say every single word that's coming to your head. I don't care if it's a cuss word, if it's I hate you, get out of my head, whatever it is. I want you to yell it. I want you to scream it. I want you to rip that paper to shreds. Okay, let's do that. Get out of my head. Go. You don't serve me. Get out. No. Okay, do it. Yes, look at that. I love it. Get out. Woo. Yeah. Okay. Look at Darius still going. I love it. He's like, I'm tearing this shit up. I'm tearing it up. Okay. How many of you feel now even more better than the first time when you just wrote it down? Right? Okay. You got to get that out of there. So now you've cleared space in your mind. You've also cleared some energy, some physical energy. This is why I have you do the tearing up part and the yelling and screaming, whatever you want to do. I have you do that because it's going to clear the physical energy. So we've now just cleared 2 energy spaces for you. What are we going to do with that? Burning it is also a great approach. Yes, Todd, that is true. Jody's dog is on her lap and very confused. Yes, Todd, that's true. I would have said burn it, but most of you look like you're probably inside a building, and I don't necessarily think that's great advice. So if you're outside, burn it. And you know, actually, who had me do this exercise the very first time was Krista. We did it at one of her summits. She had us do it, and it was our limiting beliefs exercise.
Tony
Suma?
Tony Robbins, I attended his seminar and he made us to do it. Yeah.
Love it. I love it. Okay, so you guys, here's the deal. We cleared energy now in our head and in our heart, in our mouth, whatever I do. I like to, when I do this, I'm like, I probably look like a total crazy person. I should film myself one day and use that as content. People will think I'm crazy. It's fine. But okay, we feel better. Okay, you got out some of the aggression. Okay, so now here's the deal. Now you've opened up that space to welcome in the things that are actually going to serve you. So you've lost your mojo. So you're burnt out. So what? You're going to get over it. What we're going to do right now is now we're going to think about all of the things, the clarity that we need to actually make our business move forward. And I'm going to have you start with one thing. I'm going to have you start thinking about one thing. What are you doing every single day to directly earn income? I mean, directly. There's 3 ways we earn income in real estate. Okay? Darius already knows. First thing, the first way, like the lowest, the bottom of the funnel or the bottom of the barrel is closing deals, right? You have deals in escrow, right? You got to make sure they close. If they don't close, you're not going to make money. So that's the very first way we make money. Some of us don't have deals in escrow. So the second way you make money is by talking to people to put deals in escrow to make money. Right? So you make money by closing deals. Second way you do it is what is Darius saying? I can't see it. It's blurry. Show us, Tarek, share it with us.
It's it's the calls that I made yesterday. So I had 48 outbound calls, 14 emails, and 110 text messages went out yesterday.
Look at that. 40 calls, 14 emails and 110 text messages?
48 calls, 14 text messages, and 110 text. 48 calls, Jesus. 14 emails, 110 text messages.
Okay. Darius is focused on making money. Okay. That's how you make money. You make money by closing deals. If you don't have deals in escrow right now, you need to work on putting deals in escrow right now or finding people to put deals in escrow right now. So if you're doing I'm sitting behind my counter, trying to get my system set up, trying to get organized, I have news for you. I can tell you exactly why you're not making money. 100% that is why you're not making money. So your number one priority every single day should be closing the deals that you have in escrow. And if you have a team, you don't have to do that. Your team does it. So there you go. If you don't have a team, you have to do it. Debbie, stop yelling at me. I'm yelling at everybody. You missed the first part of this exercise. You'll have to go back and watch the beginning to replay because this is where we're at. Second thing is we need to be talking to people every single day. And I don't mean just like talking to your kids, okay? That doesn't count unless your kids are actually going to buy a house today, okay? That's a different story. But I mean, you need to be having intentional conversations with people. Intentional real estate, business-related conversations. Whether it be with a person that you saw in a friend that you saw in the grocery store, an acquaintance you saw in the grocery store last week who said they're thinking about selling, and you're debating, should I call them and just kind of connect with them? The answer is yes, you should. You have someone who came up and made a comment on your Facebook page. Hey, I was wondering about this house. I saw that on Zillow. Oh, if that's not on Zillow, maybe they're looking for a house right now. Should I call them? The answer is yes, I should. So you need to be having conversations. My minimum, Darius is like an overachiever. I freaking love it. If you can do what Darius does, do it. My minimum that you need to be having every day is 20 conversations. 20 intentional real estate conversations a day. And a conversation is not sending someone a text message and saying, hey, how are you? That does not count. Okay? Yes, that's good for nurturing. That's good for like just kind of reminding people. But if you need to make money and you're burnt out and you want to get back to business and you want to do it right now, you need to be having 20 conversations every single day. If you're recruiting, 20 agent conversations. I don't care what it is. 20 conversations to put deals in the pipeline. Okay. The third thing you should be doing, and I'm saying this in order of priority. Okay. Priority number 1, close deals that you have in escrow. If you have listings on the market, you should be selling those listings. Not every single listing is going to sell right now in this market, you guys. There's going to be a lot of cancellations. There's going to be a lot of expireds. Not every deal is going to sell. So if you have listings on the market, you need to be focused on selling those listings. Don't just let them sit there and be like, okay, MLS gods are going to work their magic. It's not going to happen. Okay. You need to be selling those listings, actively selling those listings. Then you need to be putting people into your pipeline every day by having 20 intentional conversations. And the third thing, the very last thing you should be doing is marketing. Marketing is going to help you find the people to have the conversations to put in the pipeline. You see how the funnel works? Okay. The top of the funnel should be your lowest priority every single day. So if you're on burnout mode, because you have too many transactions, you need to work on finding somebody to help you with those transactions. You need to work on putting yourself around the right people, finding a team of people that can help you if you're on burnout mode because you have too much business. That's a problem. Too much business is just as much of a problem as no business at all. Okay? If you have no business, you need to get off the marketing. And you need to focus on that second level and have 20 intentional conversations every single day. The more conversations you have with people, the more intentional conversations you have with people, the more you can let off the driving of conversations in the future because your phone will just continue to ring. Some of you have been in the business for a really long time, and by this point, you probably don't have to do a lot of intentional outreach every day because you've had so many past clients, you've had so many referrals, you've had so much business in the past. And I'm not talking about business in a long time as in the last 5 or 6 years. Okay, last 5 or 6 years, I'll be honest, I got into real estate last 5 or 6 years, okay? So I'm not saying that I'm like, I'm the exception to this rule. I'm definitely a part of this too. But if you've had business, if you've been in the business I would say for more than 10 years, you might be able to let off the second funnel a little bit. But if you haven't, this is where you should be spending most of your time. The big bulk. This is like the biggest bulk of your business is talking to people every single day. So of all the conversations that Darius started yesterday, okay, what's going to happen is your conversion rate, if you know the people, if they're people that you know, Darius has a question. Comment.
I was just going to give you the numbers. I was going to tell you what I set. My schedule is booked for the weekend. 2 showings for today. A showing for tomorrow, and I got 3 buyers sent over to my lender to get them set up with pre-approvals. Some are sellers as well.
So wait, hold on. I got to do some math. I'm going to pull up my calculator. Hold on. So you did 100 plus 48 plus 40. So that's 188 outreaches, like active outreaches. And you booked how many total appointments? 3, 4?
So we added 2 more showings this morning. One guy is 2 appointments. So, but we added 2 more showings this morning. And our phone call this morning was, Darius, I don't want to look at houses. I want to buy one. So, you serious? And then showing for tomorrow, and then 3 buyers are having the conversation with the lender, getting their applications and their information sent over to get pre-approved.
So that's assuming 7 people. Let's assume he closes 7 deals from 188.
Don't say it out loud.
That's
just I didn't even thought that far.
Basically a 26% conversion rate. Is that right? It's about right.
So I went through like the entire, so like in my entire like database, I have like 500 and some odd contacts. And if I close 5% of that, and each one of those 5% give me $5,000, I'd make $125,000 at the end of the year.
And you guys, it's only 500 in the database. So I hear a lot of people complaining you don't have enough people in your database. There's just like 500.
So somebody asked in the comments like what I use and everything like that. I do pay for sync. And to answer that question, like there's costs. I have like the full package, so I get a dialer, I get the ability to send video text messages and video emails, and like everything, like their full package is what I got. Pay for it, but it brings in. Last month, I think I seen like 80 some odd contacts come in. So, I mean, it gives me that ability to be able to have numerous conversations over and over and over again.
I love it. I love it. All right. Well, you guys, Darius, can I tell people to reach out to you if they have more questions about that? Because I'm sure they're going to want to.
No, yeah, of course. And I'm in the comments.
Okay. I love it.
I'll put all my info in there. And for the affiliate link, yes, I'll talk to my lady and I can get you connected because they don't have like a link, but I can make the connection between the two.
I love it. I've heard a lot of things about Sync. I've heard a lot of reviews about Sync. So, here's the deal, you guys. Of that, like 140. Okay, one more question, Darius. 100 texts, 48 calls, 40 emails. How many of those people did you actually know versus how many were leads, and how long did it take you?
Those are all leads. Well, no. They weren't all leads. Probably like 60 of those text messages were to people that have been in my database that are just haven't like had those conversations with. So like the other half of that would be to the leads that come in, but Sync will like, I've never had this kind of lead flow like ever in my entire life to like just this many leads coming in. Not all of them, you know what I mean, are doing something right away. And a lot of them tell me to shove it, but still, I've never had multiple $1 million leads come in one day. That's the part that has me so like hooked to Sync, where it's like, yeah, no, I'm gonna go make these phone calls, because if I get the guy that I'm showing houses to today is selling, already has his house on the market when I met him, and it was $800,000. He's gonna take half of that to go buy his next house, and then his new girlfriend is sitting on just sold her $30 million business and has this big house in Hudson, Ohio that backs up to a golf course. So I don't know if I'm good, but I've never had this kind of lead flow, and it's kind of scary because like I ain't, you know what I mean? Like, so like the limiting beliefs thing was like, I don't know if I can go get $1 million listing. I've never had one. I don't even know how to have that conversation with those kind of people. But he loves me. No, Darius, I'm looking forward to spending some time with you today. So like, send me a couple more houses. What do you say? The can catches the catch, or whatever. I don't know. He's always throwing these different like phrases at me. Yeah, no.
I love it.
Make the call.
Make the call.
If you don't use Sync, get something where they give you phone numbers and just make the calls. Because no matter where you get phone numbers from, whether they know you or not, make the call. Because once you start talking to them and you say the right thing, connection will be there. Because if you're a realtor, you're probably a good person, and being a good person just naturally makes people want to talk to you. Make the calls.
I like it. Sorry. Such a good, yes. I love that. And Darius, Joy just put a good reminder in here. Wendy can probably attest to this too. $1 million+ conversation is the same as any other conversation. So like it's the same. I work with people who are anywhere from like, a $300,000 home all the way to about 2 million+ right now. And they're the exact same people who have the exact same desires and the exact same needs. The only difference is the budget. So like, that's all you got to remember. They're the same people. So here's the deal, guys. We need to be more connecting. Joy just asked, how do I talk? What do I say? What do I say? How to have a meaningful real estate conversation. So I'm going to give you a little tip. Go through your phone or wherever you text people. I don't know if it's your phone or your CRM. I'll let you go back about a year. You probably, at some point, all of you probably have a couple conversations in there where people were at one point talking about buying or selling. I did this yesterday and I was like, oh, I have 3 people I need to call. I haven't talked to them in a while. And here's how to have an intentional conversation. Hey, Mike, how's it going? I know we were talking about selling your house a couple of years ago. Let's say you got a new job. How's that job going? Are you still thinking about selling your house? Because, there's a balance between being salesy and being a person who sells real estate. You sell real estate. That is what you do for income. So the more you try to hide behind, I don't want to sound like a salesperson. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. The less money you're going to make. Because you sell homes for a living. Now, this is not to say that every single conversation needs to be about, do you want to buy or sell a house? Do you want to buy or sell a house? But if you have people who are reaching out to you or people that you're talking to who know that you're in real estate, they're going to bring it up. You're going to go out. Like I see people all the time. I was just at an event last week. I hadn't seen these people in a long time. They're like, oh, Lynea, how's the NAR settlement going? And my response was, I don't think it's going to make that big of an impact. And I don't really want to talk about it right now because I'm not working. But you want me to call later this week and we can talk about it? And she said, yeah, absolutely. So it's okay to set boundaries. It's okay to say I'm not working right now. I really I'm at the point now. When I'm not on, I don't want to be on. I don't want you to try to force me to be on. So it's okay to set boundaries. And it's okay to remind people when you're talking to them that you are asking them if they ever bought a house or if they're still thinking about selling their house. That's okay. That's what you do. So try not to get too hung up on what to say. Just ask people, ask the question, ask for the business, ask for the business, ask for the business. If you can take one thing away from all of it today, just ask for business. Ask people if you can help them. I'm going to share a good podcast episode with you. I'll pull it up here. Ed Milet, y'all are fans of Ed Milet, I hope. If not, you're going to become one. I promise you, he's amazing. So Ed Milet, his podcast he just put out, I think it was today, or maybe it was an old one I listened to. Hold on, let me find the link for you here. It's going to be an Apple podcast, so if you don't have an Apple, you'll have to find it elsewhere. Okay, it is the 9 uncommon keys to winning. You want a good kick in the ass? Listen to this podcast. Because a couple of things that he says are that A, you've got to be committed. You have to be committed to what you do. The only time change happens, the only time growth happens, and I think Tony Robbins said this too, I'm not going to say it the exact same way he said it, the only time growth really happens is when the pain of staying the same is worse than the pain of changing. I think that's how it's said. But ultimately, when it's going to hurt you to stay exactly where you are today, that's the only time. Like you have to really hate the idea of staying where you're going to be today. So when you've lost your mojo, when you're burnt out, do what I told you to do. Write it all down. Get it all out of your head, but don't do it on a tablet. It's not as much fun. Do it and then burn it outside like Todd said. I would probably rather do that. I should have a big burn party. Anyone here in Washington, if you want to have a burn party of limiting beliefs, we can do that here. I only have a few of you here. None of you actually are here or in the call here in Washington, except for Angel. Enjoy. You should just do that. Oh, and Molly. There's Molly. Molly's here too. Oh, and Carol's here too. Oh, Carol. I haven't seen you in forever. I was wondering about you. I haven't talked to Carol in forever. Anywho, okay. So that's what I want you to do. Okay. Write it all down. Get it out of your head. Burn it, rip it, shred it, do whatever you need to do. And then think about the 3 ways that you have to make money. Because I promise you, when you start earning income, when income's coming in on a regular basis, you're not going to feel it's burnt out. It's not going to happen. You're like, oh, income's coming in. So, and then again, if you have too much business, I need you to work on finding a team to help you. Find a good transaction coordinator. If you don't have a transaction coordinator, I'm telling you, my TC for one of my deals right now has been a godsend. In fact, I had to pay her more for this one. I was like, you are doing way more than you are charging. So I'm going to pay you more. So I'm giving her a percentage of it because of what she's doing for me on this transaction. Because if it wasn't for her, I would literally get nothing else done. So I'm telling you, if you have too much business, find a TC. Darius just booked another appointment. If you have too much business, find support. If you don't have enough business, get the negative thoughts out of your head and start focusing on making money right now. Okay? All right. I hope that was helpful. Again, if you guys have anything you want to talk about, please put it in the Facebook group. I would love that because I like ideas. My brain sometimes like, I don't want to think anymore. So anyway, okay. Make some money. Stop getting burned out. Call Darius if you have questions about sync. It sounds like a great thing. I might actually call. So there we go. He's like, money? You want some money? Just get sync. Spend some money to get some money. That's how you got to do it.
Never had this amount of lead flow. If you go to the website, website that they give you, mine is, I put it in the comments. It's theclevelandhousehunt.com. They filter everything from the top to the bottom. My average sales price in Ashtabula, Ohio is like $180,000. There might be in total in Ashtabula County 4 houses that are plus side $1 million. So it's not like common to just be getting this kind of, I'm putting it in the comments. 110% recommend it.
Love it. Okay. There you go. You just got a tactical thing you can do today. Okay. 20 conversations. Who's going to do it? Can I have 20 conversations this next week? All right. I said a week. I really mean today. 20 conversations today. You can do it. You can totally do it. I promise you. If you want different ideas on how to do it, I'll put some in the Facebook group right after this. I'll put some different ways you can talk to people today. You can have 20 conversations today. I promise you. It's really not that hard. You can totally do it. Okay? All right. Let's have a great week.
If you'd like more information or to get connected to the Agent Power Huddle, join our free Facebook group. This call was designed for the agents in our EXP organization, but open to any agent from any brokerage. If you're a guest and you're interested in learning more about EXP or our specific resources within the Agent Collective, reach out to the person who invited you to this call to get more info. Produced by the Agent Collective Media Network.